Good morning. Welcome to Spy Money. We are going to talk about where we think we're going today, and I believe that we're going to have a little bit of a bearish pullback. Nothing major. I would like to see ES go ahead and pull back to the channel we were in, which is probably around 2450, but I don't think we're going to go that far. The right on through here is about the bottom of the channel. So looking like 2477 on a fib. But I would say, based on the way it's moving, we may only pull back to around the 2560 area. That is this area right here. So just kind of depends. Tomorrow, they're supposed to put $500 billion back into the market tomorrow. And when they do that, the market's going to rally. So I don't know if they're going to start that today, because last week they were supposed to do it on Monday, and I think they started on Friday. So if they did it on, because Friday at the probably 15-20 minutes before the close of the bell, the market just started rallying, and then on Sunday it just gapped up and raged. So I think that the market was influenced by the government. Good morning, Robert. And so I personally think that maybe today could possibly be the same thing. And I think, the shorts, they started getting out yesterday toward the end of the day. So when they started covering their shorts, that will cause the market to kind of go up. So what I'm hoping is, I think they covered their shorts because they didn't know what was going to happen overnight. And most of the time, the investors, like the institutions and stuff, they will cover their shorts toward the end of the day. And then they'll usually go ahead and jump back in, after the market's gone up a little bit, with all those shorts covering. Then they'll go ahead and jump in the market again, and then it will just sell off. So that's why sometimes when you see a big old long drop like we did yesterday toward the end of the day, when they start covering those shorts, it actually looks like buyers, and it's really not buyers. It is just covering. Okay, so that's what'll make these little pumps right here, is just covering. Now you can see they went ahead and shorted off right there this morning. That was they started doing it about 2 o'clock this morning, and then they went ahead and they started covering their shorts right here. It went up, and then they started shorting again. Then they started covering, and right now I think this is just going to drop pretty hard. We are following this channel. Let me open it up a little bit so you can see it. Go to 1 hour. I've changed all my fibs and everything the way the market's moving. I'm not doing long term right now. So if you're doing long term, just kind of let me know, and then we can try to do something more long term. But right now I'm looking for, day trades, 1-2 day swings, nothing longer than that. So I've changed my fibs down to 1 hour fibs, and I've got rid of all my charting on long term. I'm just going to play short term right now. And I very well may just keep playing it that way. It seems like everybody in our group wants to make money today or tomorrow, and so do I. But I also like to have some longer term swings, but right now you just can't do them because we don't know what the Feds are going to do. As long as they keep on dumping the money in the market, then all bets are off. Now, yesterday, when they quit dumping money in the market up here, the market actually started kind of working the way it should. It should be selling off, and if the Feds weren't involved, it'd already be. It's hard telling where it'd be. So they have actually controlled the market to kind of keep it along this base right here. So my opinion today, strictly opinion, is I believe that we will come down to at least 2560 area, but I really hope to see the 2450 to 2470 rolling through here. That's where I would like to see it come down to, and based on past pumps that the Feds have been in, the next day it has sold off hard. So I'm glad I got out of my AMD short or puts yesterday. It was expiring on Friday. I did just a scalp, and I think it was 68%. I believe I made on it, and today I'm going to do more scalps today. So if you're in our Discord group, just stay tuned because I will be doing scalps today, and I don't plan on doing any swings at this point. Once I see the Feds start dumping the money in, I'm probably going to go ahead and jump in a few, maybe just SPY only, or maybe a few stocks that I can get some calls on, and I'll probably ride those out through Monday. Because come Monday, the market is going to be much higher than where we are today. And we'll get to there later in the week to figure out where we're going with that. I'm not going to go into that today. So today, I believe that this is where we're going: 2550 area to 2450 area. So one of those two is where I think we'll end up going. And if we go to gold, gold is actually pulled back as well. And with gold pulling back, I think that if the market drops, I mean, usually gold goes up, but now it's not. So it's just been back and forth. It's hard to predict what gold's going to do. But I would say that it's probably going to pull back too, and it's just going to get ready for the rally and then take off. So I would say that gold, we're probably looking in the 1640 range from on through here. This is the next support down, so it'll probably drop to here. There's a chance it might come down to the, down in this area, but I doubt it. I would say that's probably going to hit around the 1640 area today. So, and then we'll go to crude oil. Crude oil just keeps on dropping. I thought we would probably take off a little bit, but the problem is, tomorrow treat like Friday, as John said. But also we have that 500 billion coming into play. So I don't necessarily think I would just plan on tomorrow being Friday. It could possibly sell off, and honestly, I hope it does sell off. I hope that they don't put the money in until maybe later in the day. So it does. We don't know for sure when on Thursday, but we know it's supposed to be on Thursday. So they may go ahead and just let the market sell off, and then toward the end of the day start dumping 500 billion and run that money through Sunday, and then another 500 billion on Monday. So they're going to be putting in $1 trillion over 2 days. So hopefully it will just keep on selling off. Crude oil keeps on selling off, and I wish I had too many trades. I wasn't paying attention. I wish I would have sold up here Friday. I missed it, so now I'm kind of bag holding. They've got some news coming out tomorrow about the reports to do with the Saudi Arabia and with Russia and all that stuff. We don't really know what's going to happen, but this could potentially say that it's going to be bad news, but this could also mean they're just going to short it before the big old rally. So I hope that we end up getting a deal with whatever's going on over there. Depends on what news you watch for what is going on. So I hope we get it worked out to where crude oil can come back. That'll get some of the oil rigs back to working again and get some employees' jobs back. So they're actually hurting really bad. And that's a lot of jobs. When you start talking about crude oil, that's a lot of jobs. That filters down to a lot of different companies. So we need crude oil to start coming back up. We don't need it 90, but I would like to see it in the $50 range. If we get in the $50 range, that'd be good. And then we'll do the DXY, the dollar. I ended up getting in long on USD CAD last night, and I put a tight stop on it because I didn't want to lose too much of it, pull back. I ended up stopping out. I think I had like a 10 pip stop, which normally I don't go that tight. So I got stopped out on it. But if I'd let it run a little bit longer, I would have been fine. But anyway, that's fine. I was a little. That was kind of a gamble getting in that last night anyway. So I choose not to put a tight stop on it. So it's all good. If the market, if it starts selling off today, I'll get back in a USD CAD long, and this will take off. Let's see here. We go to NG. We had a little bit of a sell-off this morning, but hopefully this will go ahead and continue to go up. Not real sure what's going to happen with that. If we look at the 5 minutes, it dropped pretty hard there. I'd like to see this get up in the twos, preferably like a 2.3, 2.4 area. That's where I'd like to see it. I'm in calls on this, so that drop right there hurts me, but you can see it's pulling up now. And it looks like probably 2.29 is probably the direction we're going, but that's not going to be today. That's going to be over a course of time. If we do a trend line on this and just let's see here, get my thing to work there. I'm probably looking based on the trend line. If it would have stayed this trend line, you're probably looking at Monday before it would actually be there. And that would be fine. I'd like to see just a really good rally like we did the last couple of days. I'd like to see that continue on up. If it did and continue through tomorrow, I probably would sell my calls and just hold off and see what happens over the weekend. I can always get back in. NQ, it is going to be doing the same thing that ES is doing. It's actually in sort of a downward trend right here. So if we look there, it's actually coming down, touching. This should go ahead and pull down. It might have a little spike right there, but I believe it'll come down. You can also move this up even more on that wick there and that wick. So we're still within, because we got this wick up here and this one here. So we're still in a downward move. There's just no doubt in my mind we're going to sell off, but you know, they might be trying to fake us out because we've figured out their system, so they might go ahead and rally. Go to Apple. I'm not going to hit all these stocks, but I believe that Apple's going to sell off probably down to the 243 range today. That's where I would guess. I think we'll definitely retest the 250 area, 251s from on through there. I think we'll definitely test this, but there's a chance we might even come down to here. And as John mentioned in the chat, tomorrow's Thursday, but it's actually a typical Friday. Fridays sell off, but the only thing that concerns me is where the Feds are dumping that money. With them dumping that money, it could very easily not be a typical Friday. And then we go to AMD. AMD yesterday, I ended up scalping this, and I don't know why it does that. AMD, I scalped yesterday, and pretty proud of that trade there. If we go back, I'll show you what I did. I don't have it on this chart, but I play the VWAP when I'm scalping. And the VWAP, when this actually dropped down and then raised up, I didn't catch the rage until right here. So at this point, I was not getting in it. It was too late. I'd get in here, but not up here. You don't get in halfway through one. So you don't chase a stock. So this goes on up. This actually protruded through the VWAP. When it did that, that told me that we're probably going to reverse back. So I ended up getting in a puts rolling through here on this one red candle. That's where I got in. And I rode that thing all the way down. I should have got out here, but I never. It went up, come back down, and I thought this was going to drop lower, but since it was a higher low, I went ahead and got out on this green candle when it started coming back up. I think it was 68%. Yeah, I was saying, John said, yes, I was saying theta and expiring options market might rally tomorrow for sure. Yeah, could. Because, they don't want you, they're going to, and it might just consolidate tomorrow. If they consolidate, that'll make the options actually disappear worse. If they drop it hard, then they got to pay out the puts. And if they rally it, then it's going to pay out the calls. So tomorrow just may be a consolidation, and then I think that probably toward the end of the day, before market close, they will pump the money in, and it will cause it a green day, because it doesn't matter what happens during the day. It happens it matters what happens at 4 o'clock. So if they show that it's a green day tomorrow, that's all they care about. They don't care about all this in here. So I'm kind of leaning toward the 500 billion being pumped into market starting about 3 o'clock, and they just rage it hard. But that's my opinion. That's not for sure what's going to happen. Then we have BA. I have this one here. So let me go back to a 1 hour. Actually, let me go to a 15. 15-minute chart. I'm thinking that we're probably going to retest the 127.10. And if we retest that, I think that is probably a fair assumption. We'll definitely come down to 138, I'm sure. There's a chance we might come on up and hit the 149 area and then come down hard. So we'll have to wait and see what happens at opening. I don't trade anything. Let's see here. Hi, Josh. I don't trade anything before the 15 minutes typically, because there's so much going on, and you can actually lose a lot because you think it's going to go one way and then it turns right around and starts selling off. So I wait about 15 minutes before I get in a trade. Same with like AMD yesterday. AMD did the same thing. We had, let's see here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right here is 15 minutes, but it looked like it's going to sell off there. And all of a sudden it starts coming up. It actually did sell off there, but it actually raged. So you could have made a little bit of money there based on that. But typically, the first 15 minutes, it'll do one thing, and then it would take off and do the other. This one actually lasted longer, though. And then we go to Disney. Disney, I feel pretty much the same with all the stocks as far as being bearish today. And it's just short term, so you got to watch yourself, because when the feds are involved and dumping the money and stuff, it's really hard to say what's going to happen. So I think that as long as we stay like on this one, it's showing 101 is kind of like the fib on this one. And then, with Disney, I think we can easily test the 96.77 today. So 96, there's a chance we'll hit 93 by tomorrow. So I'm just staying pretty bearish for the next day, possibly 2 days. But again, it depends on when the feds come in. Then we have Microsoft. Microsoft pretty much feel the same with it. All the stocks are moving about the same. This $500 billion put in the market just really overextended a lot of these stocks. And if you look at RSI, you'll see that everything is right at the top. And that is only because of the feds. It's not because of the market itself. And even when you watch the news talks about how the market's rebounding, and the investors are putting strength into the coronavirus is actually going away and all this. Well, no, they don't talk about that the feds dumped all the money in the market. This is not investors. Investors are making their money shorting it off. So whenever they short it, that's where the investors are making their money, because they know this is overextended, so they're going to go ahead and pull it back. And most of them have the same trend line where it's, you stop here, you come on down. Most of these stocks have the same ones. And you got NVIDIA doing the same thing, coming down. I think we'll probably end up coming down and testing the 244 range on this one. And then you have Roku. Roku, same thing. We'll probably come down and test around the 79.80 range from on through there. It's where we'll probably end up testing. It could just come down as far as around the 84 range. If you look over here, you'll see your support and resistance lines. And SPY, that's the same as ES, but it's pulling up right now. But I just think this is just going to bottom out here at opening. It'll probably spike a little bit and then sell off. Target, same way. It's actually come down. It's got that little pullback where all the shorts are getting out. The market's moving up a little bit. But I feel that Target will probably come down and retest the 95 range somewhere on through here today. TLT will probably spike. I think that TLT will probably come back up to around the 168 range today. It might actually hit the 170. Depends on how the market moves. But if the market goes down, this is typically going up. But bonds I'm still learning bonds, so it seems to me that the bonds are being an inverse of the market. But TLT's kind of been doing a little different because the feds have been pumping money in it too. And then we have Tesla. Tesla actually looks pretty decent. It's been going up for a little bit. Even before like after the big rally and stuff, it's started to go up. But Tesla is kind of a pump and dump almost, and the market has pushed it up. Tesla's got some pretty good news coming out though, so we'll have to see what happens with it. I don't trust Tesla. I need to make some new fibs on this one, but Tesla, I just do not trust it. And if we go back, I'll make them here real quick. So take these out, and then we'll come back. We look for the high and to the low. So there we are. Probably come back down to the 485 range somewhere through here. That's what I would guess. We could the 522. We could actually hit that as well. One of these two right here. It depends on how hard we hit the bull or the bear market. If we do, then I think that we're probably going to retest the 485 range somewhere through here. And that's the 618 fib. That's your money fib. And by looking at it, that's kind of where a lot of it has been playing around. So that's where I would guess that's going to be. And then Uber, long term Uber, I think it's going to be pretty good. We've talked about it a couple of times, so but I really believe that Uber long term is going to be good. But I think we need to play it short right now, and it'll probably pull back down to the 23 range. I don't think it'll go below that, but I'd say probably the 23 range it might pull back, and then bounce up. So whenever the Fed start dumping the money, this is going to go up. Now next week on any of these, next week it's all fair game. Next week it's going to be very, very bearish, I believe. So let's make a fib on this one. I'm going to keep it right here because I think it's going down. So on this one, we went up, we touched it. You know, it's actually hitting the fibs perfectly on this. So I'd say we're probably going to come down and test the 161. There's a chance we might get to the 155s. I'm real unsure how far we're going to go because of the Fed's dumping the money. So we're going to be one of these two right here, but I still feel that we're bearish on it. But I think at openings when we're going to have it. And then we have Walmart's our favorite stock. It's on this trend right here. Okay, so I think Walmart will actually come down and test the 117.50, and when it does, I think that's when Walmart will take off. I don't think that 120, I don't think it'll stop there. Based off of this trend, the way it's doing is way overextended with the 500 billion pumped into market, and then this should come down probably around the 117.50. I wish that it would actually take off and hit 135. Because I've got some calls I might be losing some money on that I bought right here. I shouldn't have bought them there. I knew better, I did it. But anyway, I did. And I bought short expiration too. I only bought like 30 days out. Should have bought more. Now on your scalping and stuff, you don't do that. I mean, like what I scalped today will be expiring tomorrow. So whatever I buy today is expired tomorrow. So I got to get rid of it today. And so we'll go back and hit the ES again, see what it's doing. It's coming up right on the bottom of this channel. And let's just, I hope that it actually just pulls back and just sells off pretty hard. We are actually right at the, let's see here, if we come all the way back to right there. So we're looking at this one, looking at this, and then looking here. So we touched it. So it's actually staying within that resistance right there. If it crosses over that, we might see the 2707 today, but I feel that it's probably just going to sell off there. Just based off of what we know about the market and what's coming up, the investors are going, like the institutions and such, they're going to want to short this off because they know it's coming. So they want to go ahead and short it off, make some money, and then once they make that money, they know when the Fed's going to pump the money. So if this sells off, we know that the Feds are not going to pump it, today, unless it's tonight. So if you just start watching this stock, you'll find out when the Feds are going to start pumping because you'll see that the shorts will start covering. So we will talk about this in our Discord group today. I feel pretty good today. I'll be calling out several of the scalps. I'm sure that there will be a bunch more in there. I'm not sure I would swing anything right now. We have to wait and see when the Feds are going to start dumping the money. Tomorrow's possibly a typical Friday, possibly not. But I know the money's coming tomorrow. I just don't know when. And there's a chance they might start pumping today and let it go, but I don't think they will. I think it's probably going to be 2 or 3 o'clock. They'll start pumping that money tomorrow, and they want to make a good rally. So I will see you guys in the Discord group. If you're not part of the Discord group, there's a link down in the description below. You can click on that. You can join it. We talk about stocks all day. We live trade. We have call outs. We talk about the news, what's coming up. We talk about a lot, and it's very, very educational. It's well worth the money. If you are in the chats and stuff and actually paying attention, you're going to make money. That's not to say you won't have a losing trade, because I have losing trades all the time, but you have to have more winning trades. So if you're not part of that, join us today. And we actually did a live video last night talking about how to day trade, what kind of indicators to use, and how to use those indicators. So if you'd like to be a part of that, we recorded it and put it in the channel, and you can still watch that. I will see you guys in the chat, the Discord members, and please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you tonight on the recap.